What up, everybody? It's your girl, the Tan Tan, and I'm back all up in your screen space to give you a small hair update and to give you some tips and tricks about this hairstyle right here. Alright, so let's just go ahead and dive in to the video. So I had my Crochet Box Braids in for 3 weeks, and I haven't measured my hair since then. So my hair length is still, as far as I know, it's collarbone length from the back stretching to the front, and then from the front, from the widow's peak, I guess, because I do have a slight widow's peak. So for my widow's peak, all the way down is just past the tip of my nose, and then from the side above my ear is just past my chin. So it's like here. And as far as I know, that is the length of my hair. I plan on keeping my box braids for the rest of the year because we all know your hair grows faster if it's not being manipulated so often. So that's my quick hair update. Now, onto this hairstyle. Some things that I have learned, some things that I'm going to do differently when I reinstall these. Some things that'll make your life easier if this is a hairstyle that you want to do. The accent color in my hair is white. It's an ombre color. It goes from black to white. And I figured that throughout the year, if I want to switch it up a little bit, I'll just change the accent color. Now let's get into some costs. I have the packs of hair that I bought here. For the black hair, I bought like this jumbo pack. This is what it looks like. I used 3 out of this one, but it was like a value pack. It was 6 packs in 1 pack for $10. So I got 2 of these, and I just got the ombre hair. I don't remember what brand it was, but it was $4.99. The pack was $4.99. So altogether, the hair that I bought cost me $25. So I bought loose hair. I didn't buy pre-braided hair. This is my tip. If you can afford pre-braided hair, it'll make this hairstyle a lot quicker. If you can't and you're looking for a frugal way to get this hairstyle, then I would recommend buying loose hair and just pre-braiding it yourself, which is what I did. Now, I'm not a fast braider. I've learned this about myself because I don't braid often. Like, I normally don't braid my own hair, and my daughters are too young for me to braid their hair, and their hair is super soft. So, I haven't had a lot of practice since my little sister, she was probably about maybe 12 the last time I braided her hair, and we're 7 years apart. So that means I was 19 and I'm 31 now. So that's how long it's been since I've consistently braided someone's hair. So I'm a very slow braider now. It took me 2 days to braid 80 braids. So I pre-braided 80 individual braids using loose hair. I say 2 days, but it's like a few hours per day. So maybe the first day I think I may have spent 3 or 4 hours braiding, and then the next day in shifts I may have spent like 2 hours here, 3 hours there. And I know that Saturday night, because I did it over the weekend, so that Saturday night I probably spent about 6 hours finishing up the braids, so that I could crochet them in the next day. So if you can afford pre-braided hair, that will save you a buttload of time, and I would recommend you go ahead and purchase it. Now, the pre-braided hair, sorry guys, I'm trying to sit Indian style, my foot's falling asleep. So the pre-braided hair that I saw in the store, it was 1 pack for, if I'm not mistaken, it was like $7.99, and it had about 14 braids in it. And so if you're trying to get 80 at $8 a pack, we're talking about maybe 7 packs. 7 times 8 is what, 56? So you're looking at $56. Now, I don't know about you, but 25, 56, 25 just fits in my budget. And if my math is wrong, please excuse me, but you get the point. Like, buying loose hair is cheaper. Now, it's more time consuming, but it's cheaper. Onto the crocheting. Now, in order to crochet the braids onto my hair, I braided my own hair into plaits. So my recommendation there is to pre-braid your hair before you pre-braid your braids, to know how many braids you needed, because I didn't end up needing the whole 80. So I would have saved time if I knew exactly how many braids I needed, versus me saying, okay, I'm not doing more than 80 braids. I'll go ahead and braid up 80 and then part my hair and blah, 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 blah. So that could help you out on time too if you go ahead and braid your hair into plaits and know how many braids you need before you braid your hair, before you braid your weave to make your braids. So crocheting, I recommend a small crochet needle because I had a large one and I broke it trying to weave my hair or crochet the ends of my hair into the braids. So basically you take your crochet needle and you zigzag it through up until the top where your braid is, and then you pull your hair through the braid so that it blends, so you have one singular braid versus you having this braid hanging from your braid. Now, there's lots of videos on YouTube about how to crochet in box braids and what's the best method and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So I won't get into that in particular, but things that I will do differently when I braid my own hair. Some warnings that I had was don't braid your hair too tight to your scalp, because then you won't be able to pull the braid through when it's time to crochet it onto your hair. That is absolutely true. I did that on a few braids and I ended up having to unbraid them and braid them back. Now, I'll warn you on this. Don't braid your hair too loose either, because when you attach your braid at the root, it pulls until your actual hair braid starts. So if you leave a lot of space between your scalp and where you actually start braiding your real hair, you're going to have a very loose box braid. Now, will the braid stay in? Of course, it's crocheted onto your hair. But does it look neat? No, it doesn't. It looks like you've had your braids for a long time. And nobody wants to just do their hair and then it look a mess. You know what I mean? So I would say you need to find a happy medium in between where how tight you can braid it so that you can get your crochet hook and your braid through, and how loose you need to braid it in order to make sure you have room for your braid to come through. Now, those are all the tips that I have figured out that no one mentioned. I'll be taking these out probably in 2 weeks or so I can wash my hair. And I'll be re-braiding my hair and reinstalling these, which is why it's such a great protective style, because you really only have to do the braiding portion, buying the braiding portion once. If you take care of your hair, you tie it up at night, so on and so forth, you may have to replace a braid or two, so having extra is smart. But you can literally take these out because it's not braided onto your hair. You can take the crochet braid out, unbraid your hair, wash your hair, braid your hair back, and crochet the same braid in. Now, I'll be washing these because, you do go outside and there's dust and there's pollen and there's, elements from the outside that get into your hair. So I'll be washing them. I'll be shampooing them before I put them back in my hair. And that's really the only maintenance that I'll be doing to these before I reinstall them. So I think this is going to be a go-to hairstyle for the fall and winter, just because I find it really hard to keep my hair moisturized in the fall and winter. And then with clothes that I have and scarves and things, lint gets into my hair a lot. And the last thing I want to do is to keep having to comb through my hair to get the lint out and stuff every day. Because that's more manipulation on my hair, and I'm trying to retain not only the length of my hair, but I'm also trying to maintain the health of my hair. And when I take them out in 2 weeks, I'll give you guys another length update. So I think that's all that I have, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Love, peace, and crochet needles. Deuces.